On this week's episode, we're going to talk about 3 pillars to a strong year, part 3. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode. I am Chad Owen. This is Caleb North. North?
That's right.
Headed north 2 hours ago. What was that? Ice Age.
That's right.
Yeah, the Sid the Sloth.
Yeah. I wanted to say it was something from Lonesome Dove, but
no, definitely not. We don't watch dumb movies like that.
Oh,
TV shows.
so good.
We almost got in a fight right here.
So,
It's called Lonesome Dove's dumb.
So good.
But it's funny. I have a couple kids that they can talk really good, like Sid the Sloth. And when you get all 4 of them talking like Sid the Sloth, it's so funny. If you have not watched Ice Age, if you have kids or grandkids, even if your kids are old, we still will watch Ice Age, and it's funny.
It is funny.
Okay, so this 1-part series, which was supposed to be 1 podcast, is now turned into 3-part.
Yep.
And as I said, you guys have heard this before. As soon as I heard what the title, because he comes up with these ahead of time, I'm like, this is definitely each pillar's going to be a podcast.
I should have designed it that way from the start, to be fair.
But see, it makes me feel important that I actually can bring wisdom into the situation and it doesn't have a young whippersnapper always moving 50. Well, actually, I'm moving.
I was going to say, I usually am a little more methodical.
Yeah, I'm the one that just, okay. So.
The right product solutions. Okay.
So the first one was leads.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was sales process. Mm-hmm. And the third one is?
The right product solutions.
Okay.
All 3 are critically important. Contrary to popular IMO belief.
That was an awkward pause.
Yeah.
What was that?
The power of the pause. Have you ever heard about that?
I have not.
You say something, and then you just let them wait.
That's dumb.
And you just let them linger in that moment.
You know what? And I've heard that too. I've heard when people close a deal, they said, you don't be the one to speak. I have never followed that. Ever.
Yeah, you've had some pretty good success not following that.
Yeah, because it's like if you're waiting for the pause, awkward moments allow weird thoughts. You know, if you're in the middle of something that you're very uncomfortable with, which most people are when they're talking about money, and then they start to feel, I don't know if I'm going to retire. I'm concerned. I don't know. I'm scared. I mean, if you have a doctor that goes, yep, you've got cancer.
So it's not funny, but the pause is.
I know. It's a serious topic.
Right.
And if you were once again on the YouTube channel, you would see what I was doing.
Yeah.
But it's that weird moment where, you know what? You have a problem with your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. What? Help. You've got to move into it. And honestly, in my thought process and belief is the pause or the or the but, those are fillers that to me seem like your subconscious, you don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I am all about, I trained to be an EMT for years. I actually was an EMT and until I got to a few ride-alongs and I realized there's kids in those sometimes and I just could not handle. God bless the people that can do that because they can separate that. But man, I ran into a couple cases with kids and I couldn't do it. I wanted to go be a firefighter. And when I realized that 90% of firefighting was EMT traffic accidents, mm-hmm. I was like, okay, or helping people get out of homes that are in medical conditions. I was like, man, I would have been a paramedic if that's what I want to do. But an EMT, a firefighter, I want to go put out fires,
right.
But when it comes down to it, you don't want to get that pause and you want to feel confident in the solution you have. So that talks about, once again, the leads. Then we're talking about the solution, and now we're into
about the right product.
Right product. You've got to be confident in that.
Yeah. One thing I will add about the firefighting.
What's that?
It's probably a good thing that you didn't become a firefighter.
I'd probably be dead.
Well, either you'd be dead, probably dead because of what I was going to say. The fire would have burned unnecessarily longer than it needed to because you would have been standing in the building just like watching it for a little bit.
Dude, like Backdraft,
You
watching
love
Backdraft,
fire.
I love
You
fire,
love
man.
fire.
It is now not enough. I hate what fire does
Sure.
to memories. Like if I could watch a house burn down that had no sentimental value to anybody and that everything of value or sentimental value was
already
out of it, and there was a couple propane tanks in there and everything, that'd be so
Just pop
cool.
off.
Yeah. Like I always said, anybody who ever, if my house catches on fire, put it out from a big distance because there's a lot of ammo and things like that in there that it's going to be a fireworks display, you know, just round and round.
That's
But
right.
how did we get into this?
We were talking about the pause.
Oh yeah. And then we got into, see, this is why you guys either love or hate us.
Oh.
We have rabbit trails
We do.
and sometimes we shoot the rabbit. And we pause and we eat dinner and we make a stew out of it. So that's what we're doing.
Tasty is tasty.
Yeah, tasty is tasty. Okay, so
Contrary to popular IMO belief, there is a best product for each situation.
always a best product.
Now, and I think
I do want to add that though. The best product, there's always got to be 3 pillars to success for everybody, not just 3 pillars we're talking about for a big year, but the agent needs to do well. The client needs to do well, and the insurance company needs to do well. And it's in the same order because if you had a great product with a great insurance company, but the agent made nothing, in other words, cannot support a family, can't do anything, that's not going to be good.
Right.
If you have a great commission, a great product, but it sucks for the client, that's not good either.
Yes.
If you have a great client, a great agent, but you have a poor insurance company or sucky insurance company, that's not good either.
Sure.
You want the client to be successful, you want the agent to be successful, and you want the insurance company to be successful.
Yeah.
So you've got to have products that align with that. And the reason why I say this, because I remember this one product at one time came out. It was a decent product. It wasn't great. And I was a good agent, and it was okay for the client, but God, the commission stung. It was like 2% on an FIA.
Right.
And it lasted for a short time because I'm going, you know what the cost of my leads are.
Right.
And there's no way I can ever even afford the leads or operating a business off of that commission. Vice versa, I've seen things that have super high compensation, but they are dog products for the client.
Right. And don't sell those.
And I'm like, no way. I mean, no way. I remember one time I was at this awards conference and this guy, yes, I judged him, but I'm like, there's no way this guy qualified for the conference off of writing business. I mean, this guy was dumb just not smart at all. Like maybe an IQ of 5. Maybe.
Wow.
And I'm like, there's no way he could have done that because he was saying things like, yeah, I just, this had a big bonus on it. And I put my clients, I said, have you ever looked at the index strategies on this product? No, why would I do that? There's a huge upfront bonus. It was a 14-year product with a 14% bonus with the doggest of dog index strategies. So you guarantee the client 1%.
Yeah.
And there was no way they were going to make more than that. But he goes, I just told him to get about the 14% bonus. And he won an award for that. I don't get it. Okay. So enough with my rant. Make sure the product is good for you, the client, and the insurance company. And like I said, the client's probably, to me, I can't even say the client's the most important in that because you've got to make sure the insurance company is stable and never goes away. So I would say the insurance company is probably...
It's a 3-legged stool that you don't want one to be shorter than the other two.
You want it all to be the same because, you also don't want the insurance company making a ton of money being greedy and things like that, but it stinks for the client, it stinks for the agent too.
Right.
So it's got to be that balance.
I would also add that there are products that accomplish a similar result and are marginally different, but even within that marginal difference, and a lot of times IMOs want to try and train you to look past the marginal differences. A lot of times.
Give me an example of a marginal difference because I like where you're going with this.
Okay, a 10-year versus, well, and maybe that's not considered marginal because that's 4 extra years of surrender. But I was going to say a 10-year surrender product versus a 14-year surrender product. Or let's talk about a company that the product, maybe you've got 2 products that are the same, and one product has, I say they're the same. One product has 6 strategies and another has 8. It's like,
yeah, or you have an insurance company that's B++ versus one that's A-.
Sure.
Now I won't go below B++, and there's many reasons why. It's a whole nother conversation. But I even think about things like you have one that has a higher bonus and a lower payout percentage, but then you have one that has a lower bonus and a higher payout percentage, but they really accomplish the same thing. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can talk about that are marginal.
Those subtle differences that in a lot of scenarios won't make half a dozen one way or 6 the other, right? But in certain scenarios, they can make a big difference. And so it's doing good fact finding. This goes back to process. But again, doing good fact finding, you're going to get more detailed information. You're going to be able to determine what product is actually the best solution to the problem. Now, I wrote down the 4 things that you consider: financial stability, benefits of the product, best customer service.
Financial stability, best benefits.
Right,
Yeah,
comma.
You forgot best benefits. You
Well,
said
that's what I said.
benefits. You didn't say best. I mean, if you're going to quote me, you got it. Yeah.
Well, I wrote down best benefits and I said something different.
Okay. So let's do that again.
Financial stability of the company.
Okay.
Okay. Best benefits of the product. Best customer service of the company. Highest payout or growth potential. Those 4 things you got to bear in mind. They assume that the product design and the details of the client fit the need that the client has.
That's a good point.
Right. So it's not just looking for A++ rated carriers with crazy benefits and good customer service and great high income.
You know what I found interesting? The companies, and I know why, so don't write in the comments, well, it's most the A+ companies don't have the best products for the clients.
It's because they can compete on their ratings.
I know that's why, but it's just interesting to me.
Yeah.
Why don't you have an A+ company that has the best product?
Because I believe that it's because they don't have to.
That could be. That definitely could be. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but it's just, I think you've got to have that balance. Like if you look at the financial stability, and I've put this out there for many, many people, and nobody's ever found this for me. Find me a B++ rated or higher fixed insurance company that has disappeared in the past 100 years. You know, I haven't had anybody, and I've spent, God, man, sometimes things I would just do for fun. I would Google trying to find out. I would even go incognito. I would even try, I'd try different search engines. I'd reword it a little different, and I haven't found any that have disappeared. I've found some that have been acquired, but I haven't found anybody that have went into receivership or disappeared. So if you can find that, please put it into the comments or email us. It'd
be a good case study.
It would be a good case study, but I went back to the latter 1800s and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking property and casualty. I'm not talking about health insurance. I'm not talking about variable companies. I'm talking strict fixed insurance company. It's just because there's insurance, like AIG got in trouble. It wasn't because of the insurance side of it, it's because the mortgage side of it. So I have clients that go, well, what about AIG? No, AIG was not. There were 400 employees. There was a small group of people that made some stupid decisions, and it was the mortgage issue.
Yeah.
But American General, Sun American, Valak were all still very high rated companies.
There is an inherent bias toward higher rated companies from clients and from agents.
Yeah, it's weird to me because to me, one of the reasons why I won't go below B++ is because most good errors and omissions insurance companies won't cover that. And to me, my thought process is, and I do not know the exact reason there, but I will tell you, if they're not going to cover E&O on that, why?
Sure.
That's just my...
You're not speculating the reason. It's just a good question to think about.
And I've never honestly took the time to dig deep into that because that answer to me was enough for me to go, that makes sense.
It's a good enough question.
Because some companies that are lower, they have different errors and omissions, but I'm like, why wouldn't omissions, not emissions, omissions. But why would they not cover that? So just a thought to me.
Yeah, it's true. I will add, and this is a controversial thing that we've done a whole podcast on before, but the right product is not always what the client says they want. What do I mean by that?
Oh,
their financials may indicate that what they need is something other than what they want.
I don't need an income rider. Really? Because if you die, the lower of the two Social Securities goes away. None of your pension passes on to your wife. Tell me why you don't need an income rider.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just, and her Social Security is not, even when she gets the higher of the two, is not going to be enough to afford everything. And yeah,
right.
I agree with you. There's so many times I based the decision. That's why one of the, actually there's quite a few annuity companies that say, was your decision to buy this annuity based on the agent's recommendation? And I always click yes on that.
Yeah.
I'll take full responsibility for the company I picked.
Yeah.
And I'll have an entire fact finder to back that up, and a solution, or the reason why I picked that product based off of the solution to their problem. I mean, it's like, I hope to God this never happens, but I feel very confident in any legal type situation. I could justify why I put the person in that situation. Because number one, my heart is always in the spot of, I want to do what's best for that client. That's why I will walk away from a multi-$100,000 deal, $1 million deal in a heartbeat if it's not what's best for the client. And I did that with the $20 million client. And granted, it probably only would have been a $5 or $6 million deal, which is a lot, but man, just the way he was talking and how much he needed to live off of in his private jet and this, I'm like, there's no way I'm putting any of this money into annuity. And he was a jerk.
Yeah.
He's like, literally didn't care. He had 4 or 5 young kids. His wife was probably 2/3 his age, if not half his age. And he literally reaches over and goes, I don't care what happens to my family when I'm dead. I'm like, I am not being a part of this whatsoever. And so you just, in my heart, I want to do the right thing.
Waiting to happen.
Well, and I want to do what's right for the client and all the clients, not just the guy, but the gal, and not just the gal, but the guy. I want to do what's good. I mean, whatever they want. Now, where I do listen, if they say their primary concern is income versus death benefit.
Sure.
I mean, that's a plan for living, a plan for dying.
And then you still do full fact finding after that, though.
Always.
You don't let that be the
There
determiner
is-
of income rider versus
There
not.
is
It's
no reason whatsoever I do not do a full fact finder in every single appointment, even if I find out from the beginning that this isn't going to work.
Right.
I mean, when they pull out their annuities and they look like they're very new, and I'm like, they said, oh, all of our money's in this, I'm still doing a full fact finder.
Yeah.
It doesn't, even though I look at that, I'm going, dang, those are new policies. I'm not replacing any of those. I mean, I still do the full fact finder.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Everybody needs to be, the right product is one in which it kind of goes back to the mutually beneficial thing of the lead company. It's like all parties are mutually benefited.
Yep.
Maybe not to the same extent, but everybody's taken care of the way they need to be taken care of to continue, whether if it's a client, to live without stress and concern about what the market's going to do, and are they going to have enough to retire? If it's the agent, without questioning, am I going to be able to stay in business? And for the insurance company, it's the same thing. All
my business decisions from here on out will be based off of mutual benefit. The worst business decisions I've ever made is where I was looking out, you know what, this person's in a bad situation, I'm going to try and help them out. And that person's genuinely in a bad situation because of how they do business.
Sure.
So I need to make sure. Now, the only time that doesn't work out as relationships is obviously there's plenty of times where you do something for that person where it is purely for their benefit. Mm-hmm. Now, your benefit is you did the right thing and you helped them. But when we're working with clients, we've got to remember everything has to be mutually beneficial. And if anybody tells me otherwise, I go, okay, fine. Then from here on out, you do your job for free. From here on out, it doesn't matter how successful the insurance company is. From here on out, it doesn't matter how successful the client is off this. It's got to be everybody working together.
And I could make an argument that the agent being taken care of and the insurance company being taken care of is actually a client benefit.
Oh, 100%. I mean, my clients, knowing that I'm still in business 15, 18 years from now, and they can still get in touch with me on my cell phone, tell me that's not beneficial to them.
Right.
that they know at any time, as long as I have cell phone service, and if I don't, or they leave a message, I will call them back. I've had clients tell me that all the time. Chad, you're the only financial person I've ever dealt with that always returns my calls back.
Not to mention that the clients that you helped in 2022 are benefiting by you being in business because of the clients that you had in 2021 and 2020.
Yep.
Like there's a sustainability that takes place. And then the insurance company, obviously, if insurance companies are going under, that's mega not good for clients.
Well, yeah,
So-
that's a whole nother scenario.
Ah.
But okay,
Yeah.
well, that was the part 3 of a part 1 series. So
Can I add one more thing? I know we're already
oh my
over.
gosh,
One more
yes,
thing.
Go ahead.
If you want to talk about what we have found to be very common top product solutions for a wide array of different client scenarios, reach out to me.
Oh yeah, and I know exactly what you're talking. See, that was good you brought that up, because there
One
is
more
one
thing.
product out there right now that since August of 2019, it's been a big part of my business, and it's because I don't get beat. I mean, it's the best. I can honestly say there's one other product out there that I can say was very well-rounded, and it's the one I used before August of 2019, because it was another really great, really well-rounded product. But I would say this is in the top. I'd say this is the top one I've ever in 18 years ran into that's this well-rounded.
Yeah.
So
That's how I describe it.
yeah.
It's the student in class or in school that gets, mid to high B's, low A's and everything, versus the one student, that has a high A in one
That has
thing
a
and then C's and
4.6
everything
GPA,
else.
and it ends up working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I say that because there's a guy I know in school. He was the smartest guy ever, and he never did anything with it. And he literally had above a 4.0 average, and he just didn't do it.
Wasted potential.
Yep. Okay. Well, I hope this helps you. You have a great day and happy selling.